What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike Brooks with Mike's Gaming School, and we are back at it again. And this time I'm doing the first. I'm doing a gamer review, but I'm doing it as a casual gamer. And if you saw the thumbnail and you see the title, you know it's Dynasty Warriors Origin. And it's going to be like a casual review, so don't expect something that you would get from IGN or GameSpot or anything like that. I'm not going in that much detail. I'm just basically here to tell you whether you should, have if you'll have fun playing the game or not. That's basically that's basically what I care about. So, without further ado, class is now in session. So, now my first impressions is it's Dynasty Warriors. It's basically like a classic Dynasty Warriors games with all the bells and whistles with new gen enhancements. And I freaking love it. If you love old school Dynasty Warriors, if you love hack and slash games to where you can kill or basically knock out 100 to 200 enemies in one swoop, this is the game. This is the game right here. It is basically classic Dynasty Warriors. It looks amazing as far as graphics. It's definitely next gen, and you can see. I mean, normally Dynasty Warriors, when you play the games, you can see a lot of frame drops because they have so many people in the game. I didn't see any frame drops. There were at one point there were thousands of soldiers in the screen. It looked freaking amazing. The background, the graphics, it looks amazing, and it feels really good when you play it. So I'll get to more on that in just a second. But man, just the first impressions is Dynasty Warriors, and it's great. So next, let's talk about overall gameplay. Um, the combat system is really, really good. They have a new parry system and dodge system that works very well. Um, the parry window changes based on the difficulty, but even on the harder difficulties, I didn't find it that hard once you got the rhythm of the fighter that you was fighting, got their rhythm. It was really simple to use. So it's a simple, but it has a little complexity to it, enough complexity to it to where it feels good every time you fight somebody different. They have a lot of different mechanics in the game to make it fresh as far as special moves, the different Mushu attacks you can do. So they do keep it fresh as well. They have 10 different weapons in the game, which is awesome. So, everybody will have their favorite weapon. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to tell somebody what weapons they should use. Maybe I'll make another video of my favorite weapons, in order. But they are really, really fun to use. It keeps the game fresh. And I like the system that they have because they make you use every weapon to level your skill level up. So, because you can't just use just one weapon the whole time. You have to use all of them at certain times. So you get used to using all the weapons, and then part of the story mode, they have you train on certain weapons, and so it's a really good system that they have to make you kind of not be monotonous the whole time. So next we're going to talk about story mode. I really enjoyed the story mode for the most part. It really gave context to the wars that we were fighting because before you really, you fought the battles, but it was it was hard to keep up with the stories because you read through it, but it's hard to keep up with the stories without the animation to it. So the animation, you really got to know the characters, and so it really put a face to the people that you were fighting with and your enemies. And in this particular one is a little bit different than some of the other ones because you're not fighting as those different fractions because there's three main fractions, kind of like Game of Thrones. Everybody's fighting for the land, but it's only three. And you don't fight as the team, you fight as a single protagonist who has his own story to go with it, which is pretty cool. And then at a certain point, you have to choose which fraction that you believe in the most based off the story they tell you, based off their reason for conquering the land, what their plans are. And so you get to pick and choose who, fits best with, your style and everything else. So it's really good in that way. And what that also does is once you pick a fraction and you beat the game, then you can go back and pick a different fraction and see how that changes the story throughout the game. So you pretty much has three story modes in one, which keeps the game fresh and keeps you the replayability really high is what I like. Now, as far as what I didn't like about the story, the only thing I really didn't like about the story was two things really. One, I don't know if this was a conscious choice, but they really didn't animate the your protagonist, your character. So as they're talking to you, you just kind of stay there with this dull look on your face, and every now and then you may give a response, which those responses are very important throughout the game. So because that could change the course of where you go. However, you do give a response, but he doesn't animate, he doesn't talk, which is weird because your person talks during the war. So you'll see your person come up and they'll have a couple comments and be like, oh yeah, he does have a voice, but he doesn't talk during the cinematics, and he doesn't talk um, just throughout the game at all. And I'm not sure why they did that or why they chose to do it. I thought they could have did it more like Assassin's Creed or Ghost of Tsushima, to where if you pick, even if you picked an option, what I mean, they would, talk it through, and then they would actually have conversations with it. It would have been more. It wouldn't have been as stale if he had interaction back and forth, because sometimes it just felt like they were just talking at me. You know what I mean? And I'm responding on my own in my voice. You know what I mean? So, but I wish they did do that. I don't know if that was a conscious effort or that was, maybe something they decided to do at the end. I'm not sure. Now, the other thing I would say is because they decided to do that, they could have went a different direction. So let's say if they said, okay, well, he's not going to animate, he's not going to talk, but we'll let you create your own person. You know what I'm saying? Customize him to whatever you want, but he's just not going to talk, a la Street Fighter 6, to where you customize your person. They don't talk throughout the whole thing, but that person is that's whoever you create, and it's your customizable person. So you can I think you should either have one or the other. If he's not going to talk, then customize him. But if he isn't customizable, allow, animate him and allow him to talk throughout the story. So that's what I would have done differently. And then now this is just very personal. Everybody will have their own. Just the personalities of some of the characters were a little weird. You know what I'm saying? That I think they were a little bit too forward for my taste. But I think that's because you don't really see the time. I wish they told you how much time had lapsed between interactions, because you could go from one interaction to another not knowing, a whole war just went through or something just happened, they just traveled, and then they say, man, you're my best friend. I'm like, what? This is the second time I met you. You know what I mean? But it's really 7 months then went by, and they probably interacted more than just that, but they don't really illustrate that in the story. So that's just something that you'll see. That's just a little tidbit from me of what I thought that they could have switched up. So here is my final thoughts. So first of all, let's talk about who will enjoy Dynasty Warriors. If you like Dynasty Warriors, like if you played Dynasty Warriors before, you will enjoy this Dynasty Warriors. If you like beat 'em ups, but you never got into Dynasty Warriors, you will enjoy this Dynasty Warriors. It's a stress reliever. You can just go in there. They have a lot of side missions. Now check this out. This is another thing that I didn't mention before that I do like about it. They have a lot of side missions. You don't need to do the side missions to progress in the game as far as the story. However, the side missions help you progress in your leveling and your weapon, leveling your weapons and stuff like that. And it gives you a lot of practice because the side missions are pretty quick. They have different levels of side missions. They have a quick side mission, Then they have like a battle mission to where you do a semi, small battle, but it's almost like a war type thing. It's not as big as a war, but it's bigger than a quick mission, and that's where you can get more points, more money for that, and so you can buy more weapons and stuff like that. So those are really good. If you like beat 'em ups, this is great. You'll love it. New players, definitely try it out. You'll love it too. Is it worth the price? I believe so. Have because it has a lot of replayability to it. Um, I mean, you can put 100 hours in this game and not be finished. So because it has a lot of replayability to it, I think it's worth the price. And yeah, man, go out and get it. I'm having a great time playing it. Um, there's nothing else I can really say about it at that, to that. Hopefully they make some more downloadable content, maybe give you the option to customize your player, maybe add something more to the story. I don't know what they could do, but hopefully they do. You never know. But as of right now, we're only maybe a month in since the game's release, and I'm having a great time playing this game. So if you like Dynasty Warriors, if you like beat 'em ups, this is a great game. I freaking love it. So hope you enjoyed this casual gamers review. Maybe I'll do some more if you guys like it. Hit the like button, comment. Maybe I'll talk about some of the other games that I play, whether I like them or not, give you a little casual review, and then we'll go from there. So I appreciate all you guys' support. We're back at it, baby. So you're gonna see a lot more videos from me. So yeah, without further ado, class is dismissed. Take care.